there's 191 reasons that Zion's not on the Bud list this week. So congratulations to him. But at number 5, remember his motivation, Hal Steinbrenner, the owner of the New York Yankees. Now, before the season, they lowballed Aaron Judge, 7-year, $213 million extension. Low for a player of that caliber. I got it, though. He's been injured too much. You couldn't just guarantee him all this money. Kind of a Zion tie-in there. But now Judge, after betting on himself, is playing terrifically. Guys, get this. He's on pace. He's got 30 home runs, had a grand slam last night. On pace to become the first guy in 61 years to hit 60 or more home runs without the stain of PED use over it. Remember that. Without the stain of steroids or PED use. So Hal Steinbrenner has got to re-sign this guy, make him the highest paid player in the league, because I think the San Francisco Giants, they're going to have a boatload of money to spend. They could go after him. The New York Mets and their owner, Steve Cohen's just waiting to throw some money at somebody.
That's true.
They'd love to steal him. And Wilds, I even think your Boston Red Sox, what better way to stick it to the Yankees than take the guy who could become the face of the league from the Bronx? So, Hal, you got to get this done. Whatever it costs, you got to keep him in the Bronx.
I don't think the Red Sox are going to sign Aaron Judge. But I do think they should be mischievous and put out every signal that they certainly want to sign Aaron Judge to drive up a skyrocketing price. At this point, the Yankees cannot let Aaron Judge walk. But I don't think Aaron Judge is going to take a lowball hometown discount offer to stay with the Yankees. And there's a long history of the Yankees stealing players from the Red Sox, starting with Babe Ruth. We can keep on going from Roger Clemens and Jacoby Ellsbury and Wade Boggs on the horse. I'll even throw A-Rod in there that was slated. He was slated to come to the Red Sox. But if we could start putting up those billboards. Ooh, Aaron Judge. You don't play great at Fenway. I think you're under 200 at Fenway, but you got the nice green monster there. I think the Red Sox, Broussard, should be mischievous and just drive up the price until the Steinbrenners are like, oh my goodness, I can't believe we have to have this big of an overpay for Aaron Judge. A little bit tricky. Little bit of
I'm not mad at that.
From the Fenway faithful.
I'm not mad at that, Wilds. I'm not mad at all. Okay. All right, let's move on. Number 4, we got Paolo Banchero. All right, the number 1 pick in the draft that Orlando took to Wilds this May over Chet Holmgren. He's making his debut tonight in the Las Vegas Summer League. Not only in the shadow of Holmgren going 23-7 and 6 blocks in his debut, but he's also facing Jabari Smith for the Rockets, who most people thought would be the number 1 pick instead of Banchero. So this is a big night. Look, what happens tonight really won't matter in the grand scheme, but for the time being, the next few days, there'll be a huge buzz based on what he does or does not do. At number 3, we're going with Sean Marks, GM of the Brooklyn Nets. A lot of people criticizing Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant, and understandably, but I'm talking to some people in the league. Look, they're looking at the Nets like, yo, they haven't handled this well either, kind of like Nick said earlier in the week. And so what Marks does in with this situation with KD and Kyrie will likely determine his front office, future going forward with the Nets or with some other team. And so will he stand his ground and get a great trade for KD or keep him? And will he stand his ground with Kyrie as well and not take back Russell Westbrook? So we'll see. All right, at number 2, Sam Darnold. Guys, in Carolina, if he loses his starting job to Baker Mayfield, this is probably the end of his career as a consistent starter. Probably is a bad word. Almost certainly. Okay, so he needs to go out there and keep his job. If he doesn't, he's going to be a journeyman, likely for the rest of his career, and a backup, and joins that list of disappointing quarterbacks. Matt Barkley was one, but Matt Leinart, Mark Sanchez from Southern California, USC. All right, at number 1, Baker Mayfield. Just like Sam Darnold, if Baker can't beat out Darnold, then he probably goes on to be a backup And he doesn't have, Nick, you said it earlier, Darnold is likable liked in the locker room, in the organization. Mayfield hasn't really been. We didn't see many Browns at all step up for him when he's going through all this mess. So you wonder, does he even have the intangibles where people will want him as a backup? They'll give him a shot for the next few years, but he could really be in trouble if he doesn't beat out Sam Darnold. So Baker's under duress as well. Last thing, Nick, I know he's your guy, but Baker Mayfield joined the sad list of first number 1 pick quarterbacks to last 4 or fewer seasons with the team that drafted him. The other two, Jamarcus Russell and Jeff George. Not a Pro Bowl between them. All right, so there's the bud list.
Okay.
It's motivation, guys, not condemnation, but motivation.
Okay, this is a bad bud list. Maybe it's, listen, we're coming up on vacation. Maybe you lost, your zest for it. I mean, it's just bad. It started off strong. Steinbrenner thing was good. The Apollo Banchero thing, I was like, oh, Jabari Smith. And then it just got worse from there. I want to focus on the quarterbacks, though, because I got a question for the group. And I don't know if we can put the group as a whole on camera. What do these following people have in common? Davis Mills, Mitch Trubisky, Marcus Mariota, Daniel Jones, Drew Lock, and Tua Tagovailoa. What do they all have in common? Y'all know? They are all starting quarterbacks with a team. You know who isn't? Your beloved Jimmy Garoppolo. Why is that? Well, maybe because the rest of the league is not as enamored with Brew's idiotic graphic as the right side of the screen is. The Tua Tagovailoa thing is particularly interesting because do we know that the Dolphins were willing... No, don't put this up while I'm talking, please. Save that for the dopey right quadrant.
It's a fact.
Please remove it from the screen. The Tua Tagovailoa thing is particularly interesting because Miami is trying to win, and Miami was trying to upgrade at quarterback, and Miami also has a new head coach. And that head coach went all the way from the West Coast to the East Coast. Where was he? Oh, he was in San Francisco. So who is he intimately familiar with? Oh, Jimmy Garoppolo. And yet, they sit with Tua Tagovailoa. Just like Marcus Mariota, Mitch Trubisky, Drew Lock, Daniel Jones. Oh, it's actually a good point. Oh, your old buddy Nick Wright has made a few good points when it comes to the Jimmy Garoppolo, Baker Mayfield discussion. When both of you told me, okay, well, we'll see who gets a job first. We'll see. You guys were all indignant, chest out, bass in your little squeaky voices. We'll see who gets a job first. Well, we've seen now. And how Brew doesn't put Jimmy Garoppolo on the bud list when he's a man without a country is beyond me. And it's beneath you, sir.
All right. First of all, how many strays is Tua going to catch from you today, Nick? You've been burying Tua. All I know is Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, they're singing his praises. So can we give the guy a shot? He started like 21 games. Let's give him a shot before we bury him. That's why they like him down there. All right, so let's see what he does. I think he's going to do well. All right, Jimmy G, here's what's going to happen with Jimmy G, and you're not going to like it, Nick.
Tell me.
But I think the Niners should release him. Just release him. Let him go. Unless they want to hold on to him in case Trey Lance doesn't pan out, which is a possibility. All right, they might want to do that. But if they release him, you know who should pick him up? If Deshaun Watson is suspended the entire season, yes, the Cleveland Browns.
Okay.
If Watson is out the full year, now they seem to think, I think they think he's only going to be out about half the year. So that's why they wouldn't pick him up. But if he's out the whole year, I wouldn't be surprised if they picked him up.
All right,
and if he
hypotheticals
led them
and possibilities
to the playoffs. Because look at this graphic, Nick. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Super Bowl.
But Jimmy G wins. All right? Jimmy
Can I
G
ask a
wins and
question?
he's led a team to the Super Bowl.
Oh.
He's led a team to the
Okay,
Super
that's
Bowl.
great. Maybe
All
that'll
of those
happen.
guys have
Do
not
I
done that.
get
Or at least
an
Lamar
apology?
hasn't.
Do I get
For
an
what?
apology for you guys demanding I admit
Never gonna
that
happen.
Jimmy G was a more sought after piece than Baker Mayfield? And yet Jimmy G is a man without a team and Baker just got traded for it. And now you're saying maybe they'll just cut him. You don't cut a player that teams will trade for. So I'm just curious, do I get an apology? It doesn't have to be a basic
Look,
apology.
If
Just a
Jimmy,
little
maybe
squeaky one.
if Jimmy G is ready to cut his salary by, what is that, 20%, 25% or something, maybe somebody will take him like they did with Baker.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from First Things First, or go watch a few segments from our other shows on FS1.